Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. There's another new video, and today I've been very excited for this video. I've been kind of putting it off because I know it's going to be a gargantuan video, again, like my first collection video. But yes, this will be my 2023 collection video. First things first, if you like manga content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content, if you enjoyed today's video. And also hit that notification bell so you'll be, alerted about future videos, because I promise you it's actually going to go off if you hit that bell. There will be more videos coming soon. So before we get into the collection, a lot of people that show off their collection, they'll start off with some frequently asked questions, and I figured I would do the same. My collection is around 2,000 volumes of manga. I count each physical book as one volume, not like if it's a 2-in-1 or 3-in-1. Counting as 3 volumes, that is one volume, one book. And I have about 7 bookshelves.
And just in case if you're curious, I have 5 Billy bookshelves from IKEA and 3 bookshelves from Target.
And I've recently built some risers just by cutting up some wood from like Hobby Lobby and just making like really cheap makeshift risers. They work really well, so I definitely recommend it in case you're wanting to get more space but not have to buy an entire new bookshelf. I think the biggest thing from collection number 1 to collection number 2 is that I had a lot of incomplete series, but since then I've been able to complete a lot of the series in my collection. Another frequently asked question is, how much of your collection have you read? I believe I've read between 30 and 40% of my collection. That might seem really low to some people, but I prefer to be that way. And I also prefer binge reading a series. I prefer to have a series completed if it is all available before I actually start reading it. I think maybe another frequently asked question, and you'll kind of get this as we go through the collection, but I like having a very varied type of collection. It's not all shonen, it's not all seinen, not all shoujo. For me, it's a perfect combination of all demographics, all kinds of genres. Those are all the questions that are in my head right now, but of course, please feel free to ask questions in the comments down below. There's a lot of manga series in my collection that I've gotten only because people have recommended it to me, and I do the first 3 volume rule, and if I enjoy it, I'll keep collecting it. Again, very open-minded. I'll read anything, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. You're not here to listen to me talk. Well, you are, but you're here to listen to me talk about manga. So let's talk about manga, and let's show off the collection. Oh yeah, did I mention hit that subscribe button? It's like right there. So I'll likely turn these lights off or keep them from fading, but I did add LEDs to these first 2 bookshelves. There might be a little glare on the footage, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, I love how it turned out. It could be better. There are some things that I wished weren't, malfunction, like this last part of the LED strip did just, some issues with the wiring, and now it doesn't work. So I'm probably gonna have to get some new ones and figure that out. But I mean, honestly, for the time being, I think this looks really cool. I liked how it turned out. And yeah, so we're gonna change these lights and then we'll get into the collection. All right, so I lied. I went ahead and kept them on. I think it's gonna help a lot, making the books kind of readable. Add some good light. So yeah. So we're gonna start from the very top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go, just like in the first video, we're gonna go left for right. We're gonna start from bookshelf number 1 all the way to the end. And I'll even include a special secret part of my collection at the end of the video. So please stay till the end to see that. And without further ado, we're gonna go from the very top right here. So this treasure chest right here is actually the box set of the Legend of Zelda Collector's Editions. It's super cool. If you open it, it makes a little chime. If you wanna see it, just check out the first collection video. You'll see me kind of demo that. But there's a lot of video game manga in my collection. I love video games. I love especially Nintendo games. I grew up playing Nintendo. And these manga adaptations, there are of the game. So I believe there's Oracle of Ages and Seasons, Wind Waker, Minish Cap, Four Swords, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Basically all the games in expedited manga form. So super cool. Right next to this Supersonic, we got the first 2 volumes of the IBDW run of Sonic the Hedgehog. I believe Volume 3 comes out pretty soon. It has Knuckles on the front, which is super dope. Again, video games. Love video games. I love Sonic, and I love the art, and I love these this IDBW run. I haven't read the entire first part. I've only read like the first few issues, but yeah, love Sonic, so I had to pick it up. Next, we have behind Naruto, we have Scott Pilgrim versus the World. There's the box set and the singles, and then I have the first volume of the like hardcover colored version. Love Scott Pilgrim. Watched the movie with Michael Cera in theaters when it first came out, and it easily became one of my favorite movies of all time, still to this day. Love Scott Pilgrim. I want to get more of, I think his name is Scott O'Malley. I do want to get more of his work. I think he has one like titled Spit. I definitely want to check that out. I don't even know if it has like a printed like hardcover edition. I don't know, but I want to check that out for sure. Next is A Silent Voice, the singles and the box set. I will not get the hardcover special editions because they look like you got doo-doo color spines, and I'm not a fan of that. I like these. I already had the box set too, so I just, might as well. I already have it. I'm just gonna keep this. But yeah, love the movie. Made me sob, and is the reason why I started learning or learned ASL. I'm like a beginner / like intermediate level of ASL now. But yep, this is what started it for me. So yeah, love, probably one of definitely my top 3 favorite anime movies of all time. Next, we have some art books. I most recently got the Promised Neverland one. Loved Promised Neverland. Love the art. Super unique art style. And then there's Naruto. There's a random Rohan at the Louvre, which is not an art book, but it's just like a tall, skinny edition. So I just have it up here for some reason. Probably shouldn't move this, actually. Probably shouldn't be there because that's not an art book. But anyway. And then I have the Black Lagoon Onslaught art book. Love Black Lagoon, one of my favorite animes of all time. And we'll see Black Lagoon later on in the collection. And then here are the Naruto box sets 1 through 3. I think last time I only had 1 and 2, so I have complete Naruto. I prefer to, if I have a box set, I prefer to just keep them in the box so I can save space on the shelves for, other manga series. Yeah, I mean, not much to say. Naruto is amazing. I love Naruto. Bleach is my favorite of the big 3, but I will always love Naruto. And then there's the Demon Slayer box set. Got Tanjiro and Inosuke right here. Yeah, not much to say. It's Demon Slayer. It's okay. And then the Battle Angel Alita hardcover box set. I didn't watch the live action movie. Have not seen any kind of animated version of Battle Angel, but I read the first volume, really loved it. And I have not read the entire series yet, but it is on my TBR list of the year to finish this. All right, so now we're back down a row to the first shelf of the collection. So hell yeah, let's go. Oh, something else that I forgot to mention. So I have my collection organized by imprint. So first we go through the jump line for Viz, go through all through Viz, and then we'll get to the first half are the single sizes, so like the normal smaller size. Then the bottom half is the larger print, Viz Sigs. And then over here continues to the rest of the Viz Media line, and then Shonen Sunday, and then Shoujo Beat, another Shoujo, and then the rest, so Kodansha, Yen Press, Seven Seas, Tokyo Pop, etc., etc. And then we'll see on the other shelves, but it continues, but just the larger prints are on my Target bookshelves. All right, so I'm changing my mind here. We're gonna let's change these lights, and then we'll resume the collection. All right, so starting off the collection, we have Astro Lost in Space 1 through 5. Have not read that series yet, but it's also on my TBR for this year. Next is Black Cat 1 through 20. I can't remember if I had all of Black Cat in my last collection video, but if I did, yep, it's still here. So we got Black Cat, got 1 through 9 of Black Clover with Asta in the front, got Black Torch 1 through 5. I think this is a series that I was still waiting on volume 2 for in my last collection, so I found it. Unfortunately, it's an Italy print, which I have nothing against the Italy prints, but only if it's like
You can kind of tell the other 4 that I had before are thicker, and then there's a super skinny one. It just looks out of place. So it's unfortunate, but it's whatever. I'm not really gonna complain about it. Then we have the Bleach kind of special edition, special cover volume 1, Blue Box 1 and 2, probably my favorite series currently running in Weekly Shonen Jump. Super excited that they're out physically now. Here's Blue Exorcist 1 through 8, Burn the Witch, Buso Rankin 1 through 10, Chainsaw Man 1 through 11. Super excited for when they start printing part 2. And here is the Gray Man 1 through 27. I'm only missing volume 18. I just ordered 23 from Right Stuff because the beginning of the year, a lot of older series restocked, which is super awesome. So went ahead and picked it up. Don Da Don Volume 1, a series that I read probably 3 to 4 volumes worth on the Jump Plus app. Next is this Demon Slayer side story, Dr. Slump 1 through 18 with a few random volumes missing in the middle. This was a series I wished was part of the restock, but no restocks yet. I haven't done really any research to see if they're maybe available on other sites. I just didn't see them available on Right Stuff. Next is 1 through 4 of the Elusive Samurai. I believe this is up to date as of this recording. Next is Ice Shield 21. It's 1 through 37 with some random volumes missing, mainly in the beginning, like 1, 3, 7. Again, another series that I was hoping would be part of the restock. I still haven't done deep research to see if there are available just on other websites. I'm just using Right Stuff as a baseline. Next is, again, Kaku Picasso, complete. There's only 3 volumes. Ghost Reaper Girl 1 through 3. I remember reading this the day it debuted on the Jump app and fell in love with it. And I think it's still on hiatus. It's been on hiatus for a while because of the mangaka's health. So hopefully they get better soon. Next is 1, 3, and 12 of Gintama. I ordered some more volumes of this, spoiler alert. So I think I do want to, there's only 24 or 23 volumes, I believe, that they printed in English out of 77. So if the math checks out, it's only a third of the series, which is unfortunate, but with it being a Jump title, I do want to have it all. So I will collect all of Gintama. Next is 1 and 2 of Gunblaze West. This is a trash story. So yeah, so then there's Haikyuu. Something I'm gonna do a better job of this time is I'm going to show, so I like to get manga signed. And so this is signed by the English voice actor of Hinata. So I thought that was pretty cool. Hoshin Engi, 1 through 14. Older Weekly Shonen Jump series. I believe there's 22 or 23 total. And there's a lot available on Right Stuff, so and I've only been getting chunks at a time. Next is all of Hunter x Hunter are up to date, 1 through 36. Got Kilo and Gon just hanging out. Next is Ys, some random volumes, but I believe it's 15 total. So I have the majority of the collection, just missing a couple here and there. Behind this, I have a Kugisaki, little Neopet thingy. There's Jocko, the Space Patrol Man, set in the DBZ universe. Then we have Jujutsu Kaisen 0 through 18 with a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen figures and pops. I obviously love Fushiguro. He's my favorite character. And yeah, I mean, it's gas. Jujutsu Kaisen has been gas. The last 2/3 of the series is just straight gas. So I love it. Another one of my favorite series in Weekly Shonen Jump right now. Next is 1 through 4 of Juni Tyson, Zodiac Ward. That is complete. Then we have Kaguya-sama. I believe that's 1 through 6. Kaiju number 8, 1 through 4. Really enjoyed. I'm up to date for this series on the app. Always love reading this series. Next is Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, 1 through 5. Legends, 1 through 4. That's complete. Another old Shonen Jump title. Then we have Mashal 1 through 9. I'm still missing volume 10. Love Mashal. Mashal is dope, and it only gets better as the story goes on. Mission Yozakura Family, volumes 1 and 2. This is supposed to get better, and so far it's still bad to me, so I don't know how much longer it takes for it to get good. But if it takes you 30, 40 chapters to get good or interesting in any way, then that's not a good thing. So, but I mean, it's still ongoing after all this time. So I mean, I'm assuming when it gets better, it's like really good. So I guess I'll just hold out, and when that happens, I'll be happy. Next, we have 1 through 18 of Miho and Roji's, I believe it's Bureau Special Investigation. I had this series for a while and I have not started reading it. I want to read it, but there's just other things that I would rather read instead. Again, do plan to finish this. This is on my list to complete this year, just because I've had this whole set for a bit, and it just kind of feels wrong to have a whole set and like not have read it yet. So it is long. It is 18 volumes, so it's a chunky boy. But yeah, I want to read it, so I'm going to read it this year. Next are some volume 1s. Volume 1 of Nisekoi, False Love, and 1 of Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan. We have 1 through 4 of One Punch Man, 1 and 2 of Platinum End. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of these 2 volumes, or decide to collect the series, or just force myself to read it online on the Jump app. Because I've only heard bad things about this series. A lot of people have said this is the worst Oba and Obata series that they've created together. So yeah, I've watched the first few episodes of the anime, and honestly, I don't know if it's the adaptation or the story, but it was just not good. I do have 1, but I'm currently reading it. But this should be 1 through 6 of Pretty Face. Again, I think it's like about this person who gets into an accident, and then they go through the surgery, and then they end up coming out of the surgery looking like their crush. So yeah, interesting rom-com there. Next is The Promised Neverland, complete 1 through 20. Love The Promised Neverland. I haven't finished it. I'm like on volume 16, but I've loved everything up till then. Season 2 of the anime does not exist. Then we have 1 through 16 of Siren, probably one of the most underrated Jump titles ever. I remember reading this weekly while it was ongoing. I loved reading Siren. Next is Blue Dragon Ralgrad 1 and 2. I believe this is a 3-volume series. I'm only missing the final volume. Another Obata and I believe the artwork is just by Obata, and the author, the writer is someone else, Tsuneo Takano. Then we have Rosario plus Vampire 1 through 10, and then season 2, which is 1 through 14, which continues up here. Then we have 1 through 5 of Sakamoto Days, another goated currently running Jump title. And then the big kahuna, 1 through 31 of Slam Dunk, baby. That's right, I got it all. I love the Rainbow Spine so much. Volume 1 is gone because I'm currently reading it. The second I got it, I was like, I'm gonna start reading the series now. Ryuji, what are you doing up there? But yeah, super excited to have all Slam Dunk. I honestly never thought I would have this whole thing completed in my collection, but it all recently restocked, so holla. And then behind Mario, we have Spy Family 1 through 6, and then 1 through 8. Love Spy Family. Anime adaptation is amazing. So good. And there's supposed to be a Spy Family movie this year. Super excited for that. Next is Undead Unluck 1 through 9. I'm missing volume 10. Honestly, this series has gotten so good in its current arc. I don't know what it's officially called, but like the final loop arc. It's so actually really good and gives Fuko the chance to shine as her own character. So super cool. Walk Walk, volume 1 through 4, that's complete. Same mangaka as Hoshin Engi. We have We Never Learn, another kind of rom-com, I guess kind of harem, that was in Jump. And then volume 1 of Yu Yu Hakusho. This is another series that completely restocked. I'm debating on getting it all. I'm waffling between doing that. And then volume 3 of Zombie Powder by Tite Kubo. And then we kind of go into some random video game manga, and then we go into our Shonen Sunday line. So here's Animal Crossing, there's Kirby's Manga Mania and Persona 5. And then behind Akechi, we have the Super Mario Manga Mania. And then we have Dead Man Wonderland. This is a series I just recently completed, 1 through 13. I've heard mixed things about Dead Man Wonderland. Now that this is all complete, I'm going to honestly read this pretty soon, or start reading it pretty soon. This is one of the first series I started collecting, so it's pretty cool that I've finally been able to finish it after these 2-ish years of me collecting. Next is Radiant 1 through 15. I freaking love Radiant. There's someone else out there that loves Radiant. I think it's Manga Sloth. I can't remember, but Radiant's so good. It's a Manfra. The artist or the mangaka is French, and the art, honestly, the art goes so freaking hard. Like the spines are so like, or not the spines, but like the covers are very simple, but like the art is just so good. I'm probably not really doing it any justice with that glare and that specific cover. Oh yeah, but like look at this, like this is sick. I love like the white background and then like just the character. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't like to make this comparison, but if you enjoyed Fairy Tail, then you'll love Radiant. This is like good Fairy Tail, in my opinion. It's got magic, it's got guilds, it's got, you know, a lot of fights, a lot of action. Next is Call of the Night, 1 through 10. I believe this is up to date. Really, I love the anime. I couldn't really get into the manga, but I chose to watch the anime instead, and I think it covers the first 4-ish volumes. But yeah, it's on High Dive. High Dive is a awful platform, awful streaming service, but I definitely recommend. I'm confident Call of the Night's their best license that they got. So big W there. Next is Cheeky Angel 1 through 6. Older weekly Shonen Sunday series. I think it's kind of long. I think it's like 15-ish volumes long. I honestly don't know. But this, I've actually found all of this at half price, or Jerry actually found it at half price and he picked it up for me. Shout out Jerry. Go check him out. But yeah, so I have the first 6 there, and we have Flame of Rekka 1 through 30. And I'm only missing 29 and then 31 through 33. This is the same mangaka that created Mare, Nobuyuki Anzai. I've read the first few volumes. The first few volumes are kind of rough. You can kind of tell it doesn't really get. It's one of those series that doesn't get good until later. But yeah, I'm still like really early in reading. I think I'm on volume 4, and there's 33 volumes. So obviously they did something good. Next is Frieren, Beyond Journey's End 1 through 6. I don't have 7 yet. It is currently out of stock, unfortunately, but not surprising because this is probably one of the best shonens you could read right now. The story is amazing, characters are amazing. It's made me think a lot about just like how precious time is and how people take it for granted. And so, yeah, I mean, very great theming and yeah, just a lot of great lessons to be learned just from reading this series. Highly recommend if you have not started this yet. Next is Inubaka, all 1 through 17. This is complete, but I believe it's 22 total, so they never printed 18 through 22. I don't understand why publishers do that. There's like so many good series that they didn't print the entire, like the entirety of. So I'm just like, why do that? So dumb. But this is a super cute, super wholesome, very fun read. If you love dogs, if you love animals and like love taking care of them and making sure that they're, you know, having fun, having a good time, this is definitely the series to read. Next is Itsuwari Bito 1 through 23 with some random volumes missing. I do have the majority of it, which is really cool. I think I'm only missing 5, 6, 11, 16 through 18. So just a couple. Next are volumes 1 through 22 of Komi Can't Communicate. I remember when I first got these first few volumes, I read this like a couple months before the anime aired. I loved this series. Like just the first, probably one of the best first chapters I've ever read. So impactful, very relatable. And yeah, and then it gets like kind of out of hand because then like by like at this point, you're like, why is this still going? Why is this still a story? This should have been done forever ago. Next is Mao 1 through 6. I'm a few volumes behind, only because I haven't even read this series yet. And for my ongoing, what I'm gonna try to do this year, I know I have a lot to like read, but for my ongoing series, like specifically like a lot of these shonen ongoing series, I'm up to date with all the Shonen Jump ones because I read those weekly. But these Shonen Sunday ones, I do want to try to stay up to date with, and continue consuming the story as they come out. Next is Mare, 1 through 14, and I'm only missing 13 and 15. This was a series I remember watching with friends online on Toonami's streaming service back in the day. I loved it. I just remember having a good time. It was just a fun series to watch. And again, when I collect those last 2 volumes, I'm going to binge through the series. Next is ROD, Read or Die, 1 and 2. I believe this is a 4-volume total series, so halfway through that. Next is Tuxedo Gin, 1 through 15. This is complete. This is like another cute, wholesome rom-com / slice of life story about a boy who's a boxer. He bumps into a young lady and instantly falls in love with her, and then he dies and is reincarnated as a penguin. All right, and that is the end of the shonen, the Viz shonens. Now we're going into the Viz shoujos. So here's some shoujo beats. So we have Alice 19th complete, 1 through 7, Haru Ride, 1 through 6, Banana Fish, 1 through 19. I really enjoyed the anime, and I'm trying to collect all of this series this year for sure, because the anime does cut out a lot of content and does kind of speed through a lot because it adapts all 19 volumes in only 24 episodes, which is pretty wild. But again, I love the series, so I would really love to read this series sometime this year. And then next we have Behind the Scenes, 1 through 7 complete. And then we have The Kane Saga, 1 through 4, Part 2 complete. I need to get Godchild. I believe Godchild is what it's called. It's like the sequel to the Kane Saga series. I believe it's 8 volumes long. So I'm missing that, but I really want to get that this year. Then we have Captive Hearts, 1 through 5. Daytime Shooting Star, Volume 1. Doubt, 1 through 6. That's complete. High School Debut, 1 through 15. That is complete. I honestly picked this up because I saw the word softball in here. I believe the main character plays softball. And I'm actually going to read this whole series pretty soon. Baseball, softball was huge in my family growing up. It still is huge. Both of my sisters played softball. So, yeah, it was really cool to see. Because I don't think softball is huge, specifically in Japan. Especially, I definitely don't think it was at the time of this manga's serialization, because this is an older manga. I'm assuming it's an older manga. But yeah, I was really happy to find all of this. I think it took me a little bit to hunt it all down. Next is Honey So Sweet, 1 through 8. I found half of this at Half Price Books, and it turned out that the half that I found were out of stock ones. And so I was able to get the rest on Right Stuff. Super happy about that. I read the first 2 volumes and I really, really enjoyed it. And it's a short series, only 8 volumes long. So yeah, definitely would recommend this series. Next is Imakoi 1 through 4. I didn't even realize it, but there are some volumes that I haven't put onto the shelf yet because I haven't moved them around yet. But I just picked up volume 4. Then we have Kare First Love, 1 through 10 complete. Love Me Not, Volume 1. 1 through 10 of Nana. This was a series that recently fully restocked, and I'm so happy that it did. I've read the first couple volumes, and this is such a great story. Probably my favorite shoujo that I'm currently reading. Next is Natsume's Book of Friends, 1 through 22. I was so lucky and I found 2 through 21 all at Half Price Books. So probably one of my, this was before I'd never even heard of Natsume's Book of Friends, but saw the Shoujo Beat imprint and I was like, oh, I want more Shoujo Beat in my collection. Let's check it out. And when you look at like the covers, it doesn't look like it would be a shoujo, like a typical shoujo. But yeah, I mean, I love the covers, and every single volume was half price. So I had to scoop it up. And I had this little place filler here. I don't have volume 1, which is very unfortunate. Volume 1 has been out of stock for a while. I actually haven't looked at it recently, so it might have just like recently restocked, or there might be like information of when it's going to restock. But I'm keeping an eye out for volume 1. Next is volume 1 and 2 of Orasama Teacher, 1 and 2 of Punch. I'm only missing volume 3. It's a very short series. Shortcake Cake volume 1. I read Shortcake Cake and it was really good. I also really enjoyed this series. I haven't obviously started picking up any preceding volumes. I haven't seen a volume 2 anywhere, but if I do see a volume 2, I'm scooping that bad boy up. Actually, it might be in stock on Right Stuff. I haven't even checked to see if it's on Right Stuff. Next is Shuriken and Pleats 1 and 2. This is a very short series. Next is Tale of the Moon 3, 4, and then we have to go up here. There we go. And then 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe it's 15 total. The premise seemed very interesting. I've seen it in other people's collections, so I figured I should go ahead and pick it up. And that was all at half price, so was really happy about that. Next is my favorite shoujo, probably one of the only shoujos that I've like read the most of, but is Vampire Knight. I have 1 through 19, and I even have this cool. I was so lucky. I found this at a half price books, but it's like a special limited edition cover of volume 19, which is the final cover. It's like the spine print is golden. It's even got like a special bag, so like super cool. I have Zero Kiryu. He's just over here chilling. And then I have 1 through 7 of Vampire Knight Memories. This is kind of like a side story that happens. It's like the events while I think it's Zero. I can't remember. There's a character that's like a character that's like asleep, and another character becomes human. So it's like that human person's adventures while the other person is asleep. Next is Wanted. I really enjoy Matsuri Hino just because she's also the mangaka of Vampire Knight. But she has a lot of series. I covered some earlier. I didn't call it out then, but yeah, I enjoy her work. Next is Yakuza Lover 1 through 6. And those are all the shoujos, shoujo beat line. Now we're moving on to the Kodansha titles. So we have Air Gear, which is one of my favorite series. 1 through 12 of the singles, and 5, 6 of the omnibuses, which covers 13 through 17. And then basically I have all of Air Gear except for the really, really hard to find volumes that are like $200 each. But yeah, I have all of Air Gear except for some of the final volumes that are like super hard to get because they're so freaking expensive. But yeah, I will eventually get them someday, not at $200. Next up, even though I have more Fire Force Funkos than volumes of manga, but I'm skipping ahead, but I had 1 through 4, and then this volume 22, which is signed by none other than Corey J. Phillip. He is the voice actor of this character. Corey's super dope. He performs improv at basically every anime convention in Texas. Definitely check them out. Take One Improv. They're the best. Super cool people. Super talented. So funny. And then I got the Shinra, Arthur, and Maki Pops in front. Love these characters. Love Fire Force. I ordered the omnibus, so I'm gonna collect the omnibuses instead. So we're going back. So here is 1 and then 2 34s of Attack on Titan. I only have 2 because they are like variant covers. So this is the Kinokuniya cover, and it came with an art board. So pretty cool. Oh yeah, something I forgot to talk about. I wanted to do, again, better job of showing off some of my signed manga. But I got Adam MacArthur, he's the English voice actor of Yuji, to sign this. Super cool guy. Super genuine. And then I also have Robbie Damon. He's a voice actor of Fushiguro. He signed this. He's also legendary, super awesome person. ever since playing Persona 5 and like hearing his performance, I'm just like, oh my, I'm obsessed. He's so freaking talented. Holy. My goal is to get Kugisaki's voice actor to sign my volume 3. She's actually attending a convention in Dallas pretty soon, so super excited for that. Oh, and also I did get Max Middleman to sign my One Punch Man volume 1. Next up is 1 through 3 of Boarding School Juliet. I believe it's 2 through 6 of Gon. I think I'm gonna get rid of these singles and get the Italian hardcover editions are super sick. And the cool thing with Gon is that you can get it in any language because there are no words. There's no dialogue. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, I think it's a good idea. Next is the Heroic Legend of Arslan 1 through 3. Same mangaka as Full Metal Alchemist. Or sorry, not the same mangaka, but the same artist. Hiromu Arakawa. She's awesome. Another legendary mangaka. And then we have Kitchen Princess Omnibus 1 and 2. There's only 4 omnibuses. I believe it's 10 volumes total. I think 2, and then 3. So, like 9 total. Very cute series, wholesome. It's just about a girl who gains a love for cooking, and she's trying to find a boy who gave her a spoon. And yeah, I enjoy it. It's really cute. Next is 1 through 4 of All of Livingstone. That is complete. Love and Focus, the complete collection. Ninja Girls 1 through 9, complete. Noragami 1 through 4. I think I'm going to do the same thing with Noragami as I'm doing with Fire Force and get the omnibus editions over the singles. Just because it's more cost effective and they're larger print and they have all the volume numbers on the spine. So again, good job, Kodansha. Next is Orient 1 through 8. There's like 12 volumes out of this right now, but honestly, I think I might get rid of this set just because I'm not a fan. It's just not good. It's not really a good explanation, but it's just like cheesy, corny. I just don't care for it. I don't care about anything that's happening. Next is Sailor Moon 1 through 12 is complete. I haven't done any research to see if they made like single versions of the Sailor V kind of side stories. I think it's technically a prequel, but I do want to get that because that would fully complete the Sailor Moon set. Next is, why is this up? Oh, this one's upside down. Fix this real quick. This is 1 through 14 of Quintessential Quintuplets. This is complete with Yotsuba, who is Best Girl. I remember randomly starting to watch this anime series early on when I was getting back into anime, and fell in love with the series. Still haven't watched the movie. I really want to. At this point, I have to wait until it's available on Crunchyroll, but hopefully that will be soon. Next is 1 through 6 of Say I Love You. This is an example of a series that was recommended to me, and I read the first 2 volumes and really fell in love with the series. But I feel like there are a lot of stories that kind of like the theme is to not judge a book by its cover, really get to know people before making judgments, and listening to your heart and caring for those that you genuinely feel a connection for. And so yeah, I mean, it's just a cute story. I wish Kodansha didn't. Why is this different, Kodansha? Why is this print like this size and then this is like why are these words closer than the? I don't. Next is Sensei's Pious Lie 1 through 4. I read the first 3 volumes. First one was really good. The second one was pretty good, and the third one was like, I'm like, all right. And if I haven't read the final volume. I actually just got this in a recent haul, but apparently the ending's really bad. So I'm gonna go into it with an open mind and kind of make that judgment for myself. But I'm excited. Cool that I have another completed series in the collection. Can't complain about that. And then next is Shaman King. I have 1 through 24 right there, and then 25 through 27. I am behind on collecting these omnibuses. I believe they're all the way up to, I think I'm only behind by 1. So, and then I think the 31 through 33 is the final one, or 34 through 36. I can't remember if there's 2 more or 3 more left. And then that is the last of the Kodansha. Now we're moving on to the Yen Press. So starting off with 8686, volumes 1 and 2. I am behind there. Volume 3 is available. I love the anime. I believe it's originally a light novel, but the anime is so freaking good. Definitely recommend go watching that if you haven't. The manga version is pretty good too. I do think though that the anime version is the superior version, but when I really like anime, I love having like a physical thing to kind of like to show that I'm a fan, and it also supports, you know, the creators of the series. So I have that. Then I have Akame ga Kill 1 through 15 is complete. I don't have Zero. I have some random versions I have the first 3 volumes of I Got Crush, which is like a sequel series to the sequel series, I believe, or it's like set in the same universe. But yeah, I wanted to collect the series for a long time. I never watched the anime, but for some reason, just like seeing like the covers and the spines, and just like I've heard of Akame ga Kill, and I've just always wanted to read it. So I'm happy that I have it, and this is you best believe this is on the bucket list to read and finish this year. Then we have volumes 1 and 2 of Bamboo Blade, 1 through 4 of Blood Lad, 1 through 4 of Bofuri. Next we have Chain Soldier 1 and 2. I'm a degenerate because I loved reading these first 2 volumes. I'm excited to get volume 3. That's all I'll say. Combatants will be dispatched 1 through 5. This is by the same person that created Konosuba. I think Konosuba is much better than this series. This series is okay. The anime is okay. It's a lot of that kind of like toilet humor that Konosuba has. But I think Konosuba does it better just because I think their characters are better than the characters in this series. Next is Days on Fez 1 through 5, which is complete. If you like a slice of life about going to music festivals, definitely recommend reading this series. Next is the Eclair anthology series. So these are Yuri anthologies, and I believe this is all of them. So just Eclair, and then Eclair Blanche, Eclair Bleu, Eclair Orange, and Eclair Rouge. Next is Final Fantasy Lost Stranger, basically a Final Fantasy isekai series. Really enjoyed the series. I, again, love video games, love Final Fantasy, and the art in this is amazing. The story of this is really good, well done. Especially if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, there's a lot of really cool references in there. Again, I have not organized my new haul volumes, but I finally got Honey Lemonade Soda. This series has a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement about this being released. I actually will bring this to my TBR pile so I can read that later. Next we have High School of the Dead 1, 3, 4, and 7. I think I'm going to try to get they had larger, like very large print hardcover colored editions. There's only 2 of them for High School of the Dead. They're $60 each. So, same thing with like my Berserks and other larger hardcover expensive manga. I'm only going to get it if I can get a really good discount on them. Here we're back at Hinawa Got Crush. Again, I don't know if it's set in the same universe as Akame ga Kill or it's like a sequel to Akame ga Kill 0, but made by the same person. We have Horimiya 1 and 2. This is a series I want to get all of. I love the anime, and the anime skipped a lot of what was in the original manga. And so I will get all of that eventually. Next we have Konosuba 1 through 3, and then the Megumi side story and an explosion on this wonderful world, volume 5. I found this randomly at half price, so I just went and picked it up. Next is Love of Kill 1 through 6. I believe this is a shoujo series. It's all right. Next is Miroku-chan 1 through 5. Mint Chocolate 1 through 3. Murcielago, I've recently found volume 1, which was super awesome because this has been hard to find, at least for me, for a long time. I think it's been out of print or out of stock for a bit. And then I found all of these Murcielagos at half price, So was super cool. You can still see the sticker on this one. But yeah, 1 through 4, and then volume 8. And then we have Nankies 1 through 6. That is complete. If you love manga stories involving cats, please get this one. It's really cute, very funny. I really enjoyed reading it. Next up is Slasher Maidens 1 through 4. So I'm a Spider, So What 1 through 10, and then the Kumoko Sisters, Daily Lives of the Kumoko Sisters, Side Stories 1 through 3. Even got the Kumoko Nendroid. I really love the anime. I think it debuted 2021, and I something about this, just watching it, like the animation was not the best at all, and there was a lot of characters that I did not care about at all, but I loved Kumoko and all the scenes with the abilities and like stats and like the scanning of everything. I'm a big nerd and fan of isekai, video game isekais especially, that get super deep into the details with the ability system and the mechanics of the world, and it's fleshed out in this series very well. Next is Studio Apartment, Good Lighting, Angel Included. Next is Totally Bound Hanako-kun 0 through 9, and then volume 11. I have, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've not read anything of Totally Bound, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and so at this point I know it's good. It's just a matter of me like actually reading or watching the anime. I've heard the anime is really good too. Next is Triage X 1 through 3, done by the same artist as High School of the Dead, which is mainly why I picked it up. 1 through 4, and then 8 of Val Love, 1 and 2 of Yotsuba, and then that is all of Yen Press. And now we move on to the 7 C's. So we have Bloom Into You, Volume 1, Blue Giant, Omnibus 1 through 2, Box of Light, Volume 1. I'm most likely going to get rid of Box of Light. I think the Volume 1 was a very weak Volume 1. Then we have the Brave Tuber 1 and 2, Colorless Volume 1, Classroom of the Elite Volume 1, Defrag 1 through 2, Die Dark 1 through 4, Daily Report About My Witch Senpai 1 and 2, The Dangers in My Heart 1 through 4, which is getting an anime adaptation soon. I'm really excited for that. DNA Doesn't Tell Us 1 through 2, that is complete. Dream and Sun 1 through 10, complete. Then we have Frag Time, all in one. Some volumes of Freezing. I remember reading this series a long time ago online, yo ho ho, and I loved it. And then when I started collecting manga and started finding a lot of these in the wild and doing some research on Freezing, it is hella out of print. So likely will never collect it all, but a boy can dream. Next is Galgon 1 through 6, Ghostly Things 1 through 3. I believe that is complete. Gigant 1 through 10, complete. Honestly, a very weak ass pull ending. Is what it is. I mean, the series, as you're reading through the series, you kind of get the feeling that it's not an amazing series anyway, and nothing really redeems it out of that. But I'm a big fan of Hiro Oku. He's the same mangaka as Gantz and Inuyashiki, and both of those series are really good. So I'll keep Gigant for now. Next is I Had That Same Dream Again, all in one. Harukana Receive 1 through 10 is complete. If you're a fan of girls playing beach volleyball, hit this one up. High Rise Invasion 1 through 21 is complete. I like the anime, but I knew that, this is another one of those examples of series that were just rushed through in its anime adaptation. And it could have been better, but because of it being rushed, it didn't really get, the full treatment. So the manga version of this is better, so I would definitely recommend the manga over the anime. Next is 1 through 5 of Hitomi-chan is Shy with Strangers. Another one of those quirky stories. I enjoy this one. It's cute. It's fun. But that doesn't really get any, deeper than that. Having You Heard I'm Sakamoto, 1 through 4. Very funny series. 1 through 8 of How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. If you're a person that wants to kind of get into fitness and you love manga, This is the perfect series to pick up because you get the joy of reading manga, and it's actually very educational in terms of what exercises to do for specific muscle groups, stressing good technique. It's just a great combination of the two. So definitely recommend checking that one out. Also, the anime is very, very well done too. Next is I Married My Best Friend to Shut My Parents Up. It's just a single volume. The Dot and Deities Know Only Peace 1 and 2. This is another example of a series I really, really enjoyed the anime, so I wanted to start collecting the manga. The manga's okay. I definitely think the anime is a much better adaptation. But I definitely will continue picking these volumes up. Next is The Ideal Sponge Your Life 1 through 3. I found these at half price. I have a feeling that I'm going to add this to my unhaul pile after reading all 3, after finishing it. It's a much longer series. It's pretty long, actually. So probably we'll stop there. Next is The Invincible Shovel 1 through 4. Honestly, I want this to get adapted to an anime so bad. It's so funny. It's so like over the top and does not take itself seriously. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. It's basically One Punch Man with a shovel. He's been digging for so long he can like dig at faster than speed of light. So it's just silly, but it's so good. Kiruru Kill Me 1 and 2. I believe 3 is out, so I am behind on this one. But I have read 1 and 2, and it's really good. I don't know what magazine it runs in, because I don't know if it's like a Jump Plus series or something like that. I'm not sure. And it's just like in 7 season for whatever reason. But recommend this one for sure. It's very, very good. Love Me for Who I Am 1 through 5. A great series for just like for around the discussion of gender identity. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer 1 through 10. This is complete. This recently restocked. And reading through it and like watching it, I'm coming to the understanding that this is probably a bad series. I don't know if this gets better, but bad in the sense of just like boring. The art's not the best in my opinion. It just feels like a chore to read, and that's not a good sign. I do love the spines. Next is The Muscle Girl Next Door, which is all in one. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Volume 1. My Dear Friend Nokotan 1 and 2. This is like a series I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I have, but this is like such a silly, funny series about a person who befriends a girl who she has antlers, so she's like a deer girl. It's just a fun time. It's just super goofy. Our Dining Table, all in one. Our Dreams at Dusk, 1 and 2. Another great like LGBTQ kind of topic manga about a person who gets bullied for their sexual identity, and they kind of meet they find a safe space, and they find a community that they relate to, and so they're kind of going through that journey not alone, which is really cool, and reading it is really, really enjoyable. I don't know how long this series is, but again, if that sounds interesting to you, I feel like you should definitely have this in your collection. Our Teachers Are Dating 1 through 4. Next is 1 through 5 of Penguin Drum. The manga, it's originally an anime, so this is like the manga adaptation of the anime. Next is Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Time 1 through 5. Primitive Girlfriend 1 through 3. Reborn as a Barrier Master 1 and 2. Honestly, if you out there are in the need of an isekai, I would recommend Reborn as a Barrier Master. And another good isekai, another one of my favorites, is Reincarnated as a Sword 1 through 9, and then Another Wish 1 through 2 is just like a side story. And that's what the title says. The person is reincarnated as a sword. They still have all their thoughts, they're conscious, and they're able to absorb the abilities of the monsters that he slays. And then he's found by a black cat girl named Fran, and they go on adventures together. They join a guild, kind of have like a father-daughter dynamic, and then genuinely care for each other. So it's very cute. Anime came out, I believe it adapted the first 4 manga volumes. And next is Scarlet 1 and 2, Vampire Yuri story. I am a fan of good Yuris, so you might have already noticed, but I do have a lot of them in my collection. Next is Semoparu. It's only 3 volumes, and so I do want to collect all 3 and binge read it. Next is Skeletonite in Another World. I got this only because I really enjoyed the anime that aired last year. Next is Succubus and Hitman, Volume 1. Next is Superwomen in Love, Honey Trap, and Rapid Rabbit. Then Unmagical Girl 1 and 2. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, all in one. Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. I really enjoyed this series. 3 and 4 came up out of nowhere. I didn't even notice that they released, so I need to pick those up ASAP. And that is all of 7 Seas. Now we will move on to Vertical. So Ajin 1 through 5, Bakemonogatari 1 through 16, which I believe is up to date. Actually 17 might have just come out. Blood on the Tracks 1 through 11. I need to get volume 12. This series, I binged these 11 volumes in 2 days. Next is Devil's Line Volume 1. The only reason why I still have this is because Colleen's Manga Rex, she told me to keep it because it gets better. So I'm taking your word for it. We'll see. Next is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I really do enjoy Miss Nagatoro. I like the anime much more. I also have the BAM Volume 1 cover variant, which is really cool. And Nagatoro in her fighting game cat outfit. So I think that's really cool. Next is The Golden Sheep 1 through 3, which is all complete. I want to get the other story by Karu Ozaki. I believe it's called As the God. No, not As the God Will. That's something else. Gods Tell No Lie, something like that. But I really like this series. It was a very good thematic message. I can't remember the message, but I remember reading it all, and it was pretty impactful. Next is Moteki Love Strikes. I picked this up because this is by the same mangaka that did Again, which we'll see later on, but I loved Again, and I haven't heard anything about Moteki, and honestly I don't think I've ever seen it in anyone's collection, but I wanted to give it a try because of the other works that I enjoyed by this person. Next is My Neighbor Seki 1 through 3. This is just an episodic comedic story about a person who does a bunch of random things on his desk, and his neighbor sees all of these things and she just reacts in a silly, goofy, funny way. And then we have A School Frozen in Time 1 through 4 complete, followed by Witchcraft Works 1, 2, and a random 5. And that's all of Vertical. Moving on to Dark Horse, we have some random singles of Gaunt's. I will never get those disgusting bricks. I'm just going to continue hating myself and try to get all the singles. I hope there's going to be a hardcover deluxe edition released in the future by Dark Horse. We will see. But I do have Gaunt's G 1, 2, and 3 that is complete. It's a side story of within the Gaunt's universe. Then Gigante Maxia by Kentaro Miura. I Am a Hero on the Bus 1 through 5. Mob Psycho 1 through 8, and then the Mob Psycho 100 Reagan side story. Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles 1 through 3. We have Battle Royale 1 through 12, and I think I am 1 through 12, and I think I'm only missing 9, 10, and then 13 through 15. So a small chunk I'm missing. We have Mira Nikki Future Diary 1, 2, and 3. Momogumi plus Senki. Honestly, I got this from a blind box a year ago. I only kept it because it seemed the most likely that I would enjoy it. It will probably go to my unhaul pile. Next is Les Bijoux. This is 5 volumes complete. This is actually, I don't think it's a manga. I think it's a I think it's not a comic book, but I think it's a Korean comic book. Not necessarily a webtoon, but I haven't really done any research on this one. This might be a manga, and it's just you just read it right to left or left to right. But I found that all of this set at Half Price Books, so thought it'd be cool to pick that up. Same with all the Sayuki. I found all of this at half price. So this is 1 through 9 of the original Sayuki, and then 1 through 4 of Sayuki Reload, which is the sequel series. Volume 1 of Scryed. Oh, I didn't even realize we were going through our Tokyo Pops, by the way. And then that was the last one of the Tokyo Pops. So now we're going on to the One Piece books. So Higehiro, 1 through 4. I really enjoyed the anime. There's a lot of bait and switches, which I don't enjoy, but it's a good message. So I do enjoy the series. Hinamatsuri 1 through 6. Uzutoki Rhetoric, Volume 1. And those are all the One Piece. So now we're moving on to Square Enix. So the Apothecary Diaries, 1 through 6. Still missing Volume 7. You have 07 Ghost, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, this is I believe this is the Go Manga imprint. So yeah, 1 through 3 of 07 Ghost, and then all of Black Sun, Silver Moon, 1 through 7. Now we're moving on to the ADV manga imprint. So 1 through 8 of Chrono Crusade complete. Cromartie High School, Volume 1. And then finally, Del Rey, so Kage Toro, Volume 1. 1, 2, and 4 of Pastel. And then 1 through 4 of Psycho Busters. So we go to the box sets. So we have all of Claymore. The Claymore box sets 1 through 27. Claymore is one of my favorite series of all time. I'm currently rereading it, and I love this series so much. And over here on top of this bookshelf, so we have all of my Weekly Shonen Jumps that I collect. I got the last part of 2021's run. I got a majority of 2022. And then near the end of 2022, I decided that I'm only going to collect the first issues that have the first volume of a new series. So I have a lot of, you might not be able to see it from here, but you might be able to tell in the spines. But I got the first volume of like Glinka and Luna. There's Ichinose 7 Family Sins, I believe it's called. There's Cypher Academy. There's Ichigoki's Under Control. A lot of canceled series are in here, which is sad, but really cool that I have those in my collection. Over here is the One Piece kind of part of the shelf. I have only box set 1. I'm up to date on One Piece on the Viz app, so getting the physicals isn't like a huge priority of mine. I'm only going to get them if I'm able to find good deals. Same with the Bleach box set, which is over here. So we got Bleach box set 1. I got a lot of cool Bleach Funkos. But yeah, I got a lot of Bleach Pops. Got Ulquiorra. Got Bankai Ichigo. And then the box set 1 of My Hero Academia. And then Oran High School Host Club box set. Alrighty, so now we are done with all the small singles, or small, but like the normal size manga volumes. Now we're moving on to the larger prints, kind of the same imprint order. So starting with Viz, and then moving on to Kodansha, Yen Press 7 Seas. There's some Udon. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's resume. So starting off with 20th Century Boys. So I have 1 through 11, and then 21st Century Boys. This is complete. Next is Akira Toriyama's Manga Theater, Alice in Borderland 1 through 3. I am behind on this series. Next is Asadora 1 through 5, by Omega 1, and then 4, 5, 6. I believe this is set in the same universe as Blom. Then we have 1 through 12 of Black Lagoon, one of my favorite series of all time. I absolutely love Black Lagoon so much, and I'm happy to see that other people are adding Black Lagoon to their collection. Next is Black Paradox, Junji Ito story. Blue Flag 1 through 8, which is complete. Crazy Food Truck Volume 1. This first volume is okay. Next is Dead Demons Dede Destruction 1 through 8 right here, and then 9, 10, 11 back there. Then we have Death Note in the Black Editions 1 through 6. And then the Death Note short stories collection, Dorohedoro 1 through 3, Downfall, another Inio Asano story, short story, Dragon Ball in the Viz Bigs, Dragon Ball Z, in the Vizbigs, so have all of DB, all of Dragon Ball, and all of DBZ. Got Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Apparently, I've been told this is the worst Goku pop to have gotten, but I don't care. Super Saiyan 2 is my favorite form, so yeah, deal with it. Next, we have Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai, 1, 2, and 3. I believe 4 and 5 are out, so I am behind on that. Then we have Fire Punch 1 through 8 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. This is actually the series before Chainsaw Man. Then we have 1 through 7 of Fist of the North Star. In these super sick hardcover editions, Viz killed it with these editions. Same with Full Metal Alchemist. In the Full Metal editions, this is complete 1 through 18. We got Fushigi Yugi in the Vizbigs, Volume 1. I believe there's only 4 of these. I do want to get all of this, and I want to read Fushigi Yugi. This is one of Jerry's favorite shoujo, I believe. And on the bottom down here, just so I have all this here just because these Berserk volumes are so heavy and so large. If you're out there, only put these on the bottom shelf, please. And then over here hiding is Attack on Titan No Regrets. This is the origin story of Levi, and it's an all-in-one color edition. So then we continue our larger print on our shelf. We're back to shelf number 1 and 2. So continue with the rest of Golden Kamui. So 1 through 26. Read the first volume, and I'm, guilty as charged. I have not read anything past that point. Next, we have all of Hell's Paradise, Jugoku Kuraku, 1 through 13. Followed by Inuyasha in the Vizbig, Volume 1. There's 18 of these, I believe. And I enjoy Inuyasha. I do want to read it, but that's likely not going to be on my 2023 hunt list to complete. Next up is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We got Part 1, Battle Tendency. Phantom Blood, sorry. Phantom Blood, Part 1. We got Battle Tendency Part 2, 1 through 4. Then we have Stardust Crusaders, followed by Diamond is Unbreakable, which is my favorite part. And then Golden Wind, 1 through 6, which is up to date. And then a bunch of JoJo figures, some of my favorite characters from their respective parts. So Caesar, my favorite Part 2 character. Josuke, my favorite Part 4. Jolene isn't my favorite Part 6 character, but I do really love Jolene. Hermes is my favorite Part 6 character. And I still need to order her Nendroid, so I will hop on that. And I have Narancia, who's my favorite Part 5 character. And then I love Jotaro. I mean, you can't dislike Jotaro. He's the GOAT. And then down here I have more JoJo's figures with Josuke and Jolene. And so behind Jotaro, we got Levius. It's like an all-in-one hardcover, and then Levius S is the sequel series. And then we have the Liminal Zone, another Junji Ito short story. And then Look Back, which was a one-shot by Fujimoto. A really good one-shot. I really enjoyed Look Back. I'm really excited for Goodbye Area to come out. I think that one's better than Look Back. Mermaid Saga 1 and 2 by Rumiko Takahashi. That's complete. Master Keaton 1 and 2 by Urasawa. There's a lot more of Master Keaton to collect. Same with Monster. Both by Urasawa. Then Muji Rushi, The Sign of Dreams, also by Urasawa. Next is number 5, 1 and 2. I believe this is a 4-volume series. These volumes are very expensive. I believe they're like $30 each. $23 each, but it's still pretty expensive. So I do want to collect the rest of the series. There's only 2 more volumes, but I'm only going to get them like on Right Stuff. Next is No Guns Life 1 through 6. Then we have a bunch of Pokemon over here. We have Pokemon Adventures in the Collector's Edition. There's 1 through 10, which is complete. Then we have Record of Ragnarok. Then we have Restaurant Paradiso. Next is Censor, another Junji Ito short story. Solonin by Inio Asano. We have Sneeze, which is short stories by Urasawa. Then we have Tenjo Tenge and the full contact editions, 3-in-1s, 1 through 11. We have Death Spoke Rohan Kishibe, 1 and 2, which I believe is complete. Tomie by Junji Ito. Then we have Urusei Yatsura, which I believe is just 1 through 3. It continues over here. And then Uzumaki. And then Vagabond 1 through 5. What a Wonderful World Volume 2. Next is Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead 1 through 8. This is up to date. I might have mentioned this earlier, but this is getting an anime adaptation, and just from the trailer alone, it looks like it's going to be really good, so I'm super excited for that. All right, now we move on to the Kodansha prints. So starting with Again, 1 through 12. This is complete. Again, I said this earlier, I really enjoyed this series. Next is Beyond the Clouds, Volume 1. I found this at half price, and it's a Volume 1, so I was like, I'll pick it up and give it a try. Next is Blue Lock, 1 through 3. I believe Volume 4 is out. This series is so freaking good, and my good friend Kenny has been saying this for years, that when this comes out, when this gets like more mainstream, people are gonna love this series. And yeah, the anime, super good. Art in the manga, super freaking good. So yeah, so this year, 2022 is definitely the year of, you know, Blue Lock blowing up, and it was much deserved. Next is Blue Period 1 through 11. The last few months, they've just been like pumping out volumes. I think like 8 through 11 came out like back to back, which is really cool. I believe the anime covers up to the first 6 or 7 volumes. Next is Boys Run the Riot. Here's Chasing After Io Kishiba. Here's 1, 2, and 3 of Clockwork Planet. 1, 2, and 3 of Complex Age. Volume 1 of A Galaxy Next Door. This is getting a manga adaptation pretty soon, so that's why I picked it up to check it out. Here's 1 through 11 of Gleipnir. I've read the first few volumes of this series, and I really enjoy it. And then next is the beginning of Grand Blue Dreaming. So this is 1 through 13. And then let's go to my room to see the remaining volumes. Resuming where we left off, here is the rest of Grand Blue Dreaming, 14 through 16. But next up is Happiness 1 through 2, Shuzo Oshimi. Here is 1 through 10 of Inuyashiki. This is complete by Hirooku. Next is If I Could Reach You, volumes 1 through 7. This is complete. Next is Land of the Lustrous 1, 2, and 3. Parasite in the hardcover color edition, full color edition. Next is Peach Boy Riverside 1 through 6. Next is Penguin and House 1, 2, and 3. I'm obsessed with penguins, and honestly the only reason why I got this was because penguin was in the title and I saw a cute penguin on the cover. Next is PTSD Radio. I got this from Half Price Books, so great deal on this. And then here is Rent a Girlfriend 1 through 13, and then 1 and 2 of Rent a Really Shy Girlfriend. And I have the Shizuru and Ruka Nendroids. I'm probably gonna get the other 2. Next is Volume 1 of Saint Young Men. Honestly, I have only gotten this first volume, and I have not gotten anything other than this first volume, obviously, because that's all we see. So I need to read this first volume and decide if I want to keep collecting this. I've seen a good number of people phase this out of their collection. So I don't know. Well, I'll have to make my own decision and see how I feel. Next is 7 Deadly Sins and the Omnibuses. This is an example of what I mean by like the individual volumes are printed on the spine. So a lot of omnibuses will just be like one, or like they'll just say 1 and 2, 3. But I really enjoy when they have like the individual volumes that are included. Here's Volume 1 of Sweetness and Lightning, To Your Eternity 1 through 8. Next is Villain Saga 1 through 9. I do not have 10 through 13, which 13 is the latest one that just recently came out. Wand Dance 1, 2, and 3, about a boy who kind of has like a speech impediment, and he discovers a love for hip-hop dancing. And then another dancing manga, Welcome to the Ballroom. Next is When Will Ayumu Make His Move 1 through 6. This actually just recently got an anime adaptation, and I enjoyed it. I haven't finished watching it, so I don't know how far it goes. Next is The Witch and the Beast 1 through 8. I'm behind on volume 9. And then same with The Witch Had a Terrier. I have 1 through 9, but I don't have volume 10. So behind on that. Here is Wotakoi 1 through 6, and I have multiple volume 6s because these are variant covers. So I believe this is the Kinokuniya cover. And then this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive cover. And then this is the standard cover. The Barnes & Noble one is my favorite cover. BAM Books A Million had an exclusive cover, but that one was like the hardest one to get. And now people are trying to flip it, so, you know, those people suck. But the Kino Kaniya exclusive came with this art board, which is really, really cool, really nice. Next is Yuri Is My Job 1 and 2. This is getting an anime adaptation soon. Here's Blank Canvas, My So-Called Artist's Journey. Cutie Honey, and Devilman Volume 1. Oh, I didn't realize. So we finished the Kodanshas. Now we're moving on to the Seven Seas. I actually just ordered Devilman Volume 2. It just came back in stock, so I'm excited to have 1 and 2. And then I plan to read these and then watch the anime, so excited for that. Next is The Girl in the Arcade. Moving on down, we're getting to the end of the collection. Here's Lupin III, Greatest Heist, in the hardcover edition. Made in Abyss 1, 2, 3. My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, which is an all-in-one. My Senpai is Annoying 1 through 6. The anime adaptation of this is like really, really good. My Solo Exchange Diary Volume 1. Ojo Jojo 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. Complete. Rainbow in Black 1, 2, and 3. I believe this is the last volume, so this is complete. Tokyo Revengers. I have 2 versions. The thicker version, which is unfortunate, but I believe. Let's see, which one is the. One of these is a Barnes & Noble exclusive cover, and the other one is the normal cover. And then the Kino Kaniya version, or not really, like, there's not a Kino Kaniya version. If you bought the volume 1 of Kino Kaniya, it came with the art board. So this is like, trying to get it clear on it. This is like a super cool art board. Love this art so much. And next we have Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, only volume 1. Next up is Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko. This was a highly anticipated like slice of life series, manga series. Next is Bride Story 1 through 5, and then the volume 11 that I had found at the Half Price Books, which was awesome. I believe this series is still ongoing. This is by the same mangaka Hikaru Mori that created Emma, which I really want to get Emma. I've been seeing Emma restocks recently, so I might just go all in and pick that up for my stuff. Next up is, and this is such a hard manga for me to pronounce, so I am definitely going to butcher it, Enial and Deuela 1, 2, and 3. Same mangaka that created Witch Hat Atelier. Here is Fruits Basket in the collector's edition. I only have volume 1. Oh no, I have volumes 1 and 2. Here's volume 2. Next is The Girl from the Other Side and the hardcover editions. If you followed my, if you watched my Barnes & Noble hardcover shop with me /haul, then you would know that I have this. And yeah, I was able to get these for half off. So instead of the 42, I got these for 21, or just 2 for 42. And then next is Kakegurui 1 through 6, and then volume 8. Next is Penguin Gentleman. Again, I only got this because of Penguin in the title, but it's really cool. It's like really cute and pretty funny. It's about this restaurant that has all of these waiters that they're penguins but personified as waiters, and there's like a lot of penguin facts in here, and it's just an all-in-one, so it's just like a really short story. But if you're a fan of penguins and manga, I would definitely recommend getting this. Next is Prison School. I only have 1 through 5. I love the art of Akira Hiramoto. I have Raw Hero, which is also done by Akira Hiramoto. This is complete 1 through 6. I believe there are 14 of Prison School, so Prison School is actually pretty long. Here is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Here is Run on Your New Legs 1 and 2. Moving on, we have Solo Leveling 1 through 4. Rest in peace to, I believe, the artist of this series. They passed away, unfortunately. Next is Ubo Blatt. This is a series. This is one of my top series to finish collecting this year. I have some that I ordered that are on the way, but there are some that are similar to Air Gear, worth a couple $100 each. So the hunt begins. You know, Reina says it best, for any of my Valorant fans out there. The whole of humanity is Yuri, has gone Yuri except for me, all in one. I have volume 1 of the Loot Crate exclusive of Yowamushi Pedal. I'm probably just going to keep this just because like the collector in me is like, let's just keep this. But I'm probably not going to try to collect the omnibuses because there are a lot and I think they're out of print. So like I think some volumes are out of print, so I don't even want to start that. Next is Dororo in the all-in-one omnibus. I honestly did not know that there were, I guess, singles, I guess they would be. I think there's 3 singles. I just don't like bricks because inevitably, like reading them, they're going to crease unless they're like a hardcover. So I think I'm going to like trade this or try to like just sell this and then try to collect the single versions instead. Next is the Flowers of Evil in the complete editions, 1 through 4 complete by Shuzo Oshimi. Said this earlier in the video, but I read this entire series in like 3 days and loved it. The ending was kind of, I think the ending was fine. I think it was all right. It might have felt a little like rushed. Next is Haru's Curse, all in one, and then in close called Fat. Message to Adolf, parts 1 and 2 complete by Osamu Tezuka. Beauty and the Feast, 1 through 3. The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated, 1 through 3. This was like a super cute series. There was an anime adaptation. This is like how I discovered this series, and I really like the anime. It's like a reverse isekai about the second in command to the demon army gets their like crystal destroyed, and she loses all of her powers or majority of her powers, and she gets sent to Tokyo. And then she has to take up a job and work and, you know, make a livable wage and, you know, rent an apartment and just live normal life. A random volume of High Score Girl. I've got this forever ago. I really should figure out if I want to keep this, like collect the rest of it or get rid of it. Next is My Dress Up Darling, 1 through 5. I was not a fan of the first volume. But then the anime came out and the anime is gorgeous. So now I have to collect the rest just out of love for the anime. Next is Ragna Crimson, 1 through 5. I'm behind on 6 and 7, but I do have them in an order on the way. So excited to continue reading this series. Sinnoh Alice. I started reading this. I need to finish it. I am enjoying it so far. I believe it's based off of a mobile game. Here is Soul Eater in the Perfect Editions, 1 through 9. So we are at the end of the collection. Last row. So we have Kaiji, Gambling Apocalypse, 1, 2, and 3. The Girl with the Senpaku Eyes, 1 and 2. Shino Can't Say Her Name by Shuzo Oshimi. We have Persona, Mementos Missions. There's like side stories. It's only 3 volumes, so that's complete. And we just did Denpa. Well, we just did Square Enix. Oh, sorry. Okay, I have to go further back. We did Vertical. We did Square Enix manga. We did Denpa. Now we're doing Udon. Here's all of Silent Mobius, 1 through 4. All of Summertime Rendering in the softcover editions, 1 through 6 complete. Here is Satoshi Kon's Opus, Planets or Planetess by Makoto Yukimura. Same mangaka as Vinland Saga, 1 and 2 complete. The Breaker, 1 and 2. I'm very behind on The Breaker. I read The Breaker a long time ago online and I love The Breaker. So I really need to catch up on reading or getting the rest of it because I do want to reread it. Here is Ryuko, 1 and 2 complete. And then here's the last shelf with some, one-offs. So we have Dot Hack, the complete collection, 1 through 3, the Tokyo Pop, maybe Barefoot Gen. And then these last few volumes before we get into like the remaining like just super large print manga are my French volumes. So I have Leviathan, Spirit of the Sky, and Lolita HD. all volume 1s. Shout out to Weebra, because I asked him for some French manga recommendations and he gave me this one. And I'm like halfway through it, but so far I'm really liking it. It's basically like horror Among Us, which is pretty funny. And then the rest, so here are some other like my final like large additions on the very bottom because we're so heavy. So we have Blom 1 and 4, Card Captor Sakura Volume 1, Dementia 21 Volume 1, or I guess Part 1, The Ghost in the Shell Deluxe Edition all in one, and then Hellsing Deluxe Edition Volume 1, and then finally Nijigahara Holograph by Inio Asano. Now that you've made it to the end of my collection, thank you so much for sticking out to the very end. You have earned the privilege, the right, the gift to see the secret part of my collection. So we are now in my closet, and you might be wondering, David, why are we in your closet? Well, it's because we have made it to the Nasty Man shelf. Yeah, that's right. I have a secret hidden Nasty Man shelf because I don't want anyone to see these volumes of manga out in the open and judge me. And, nasty man, nasty women, nasty person, nasty whatever. To show this, and there is definitely going to be some stuff that I can't show. I will censor it, but these are my FAQ manga. I'm not going to read all the titles because they're, I can't say them out loud, but some of my favorites are The Otaku in 2000 BC. Definitely recommend that one. You'll Be Crazy About Me is also a good one. One that I like. The Double Secret in Dirty Diaries, also really good. And Non-Virgin. I recommend those, so you want to write them down. There you go. Moving on to, so what I have in here are basically my FAQs and my Ghost Ship imprint. There's also one Yen Press series, but it's because there's nudity in there. The 100 Girlfriends That Really Love You, 1 and 2. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, 1 through 3. Really like that series. I would recommend that one if you're into... it's basically like My Dress Up Darling, but like naked, basically. Next is Ayakashi Triangle. Next up is 1 through 10 of Booty Royale. Never Go Down Without a Fight. This is my favorite Ghost Ship imprint series. I'm currently reading 5, 6, so that's why it's not in here. Devilish Darlings, Portal Fantasy, that's an all-in-one. Does a Hot Elf Live Next Door to You, 1 through 4. I believe this is up to date. Arrow Ninja Scrolls, Volume 1. Next is Game Between the Suits. Next is Gunbird Sisters, Volume 1. Howling Moon, Divine Raiment, Magical Girl, Howling Moon, 1, 2, and 3. That is complete. Parallel Paradise, 1 through 9. Saki the Succubus, 1 through 5, which I think is complete. Shiori's Diary, 1, 2, and 3. That is complete. Sundom Milky Way, this is another one of my favorites, 1 through 5. Super Heroes, only Volume 1. I believe I found that at Half Price Books. All of To Love Ru, 1 through 18. Was able to find this at a Half Price Books. Shout out, Jerry. I appreciate you. I think this series was in Weekly Shonen Jump. I could be wrong. Who Wants to Marry a Billionaire, 1, 2, and 3. Next is The Witches of Adamas, 1, 2, and 3. World's End Harem, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then World's End Harem Fantasia, Volume 1. And then, last but not least, we have Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs, 1 through 20. And that concludes the collection video. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And it was very fun for me to go through my entire collection. I haven't done that in a while. So hopefully that was entertaining for you as well. So again, if you enjoyed today's content, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and let me know what was your
favorite or least favorite series that you saw in my collection. Do you have any recommendations? Any of your favorite, did you not see any of your favorite shonen or seinen or shoujo series? Again, I'm Thibby. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.